Hello and welcome to Spectrum TV News at 4. I am Frank Sizadit, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. We'll take a look at the headlines. Federal government to begin 40% pay rise for workers ahead of proposed subsidy removal in June. INEC demand will bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. Many thanks for staying with us. Our first report is that the federal government is set to begin the payment of the planned 40% increase in civil servants' pay by the end of April. According to reports, President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to give his final assent for the disbursement of the payment, adding that the pay rise will come about 2 months before the proposed June date of petrol subsidy removal. The Director of Press and Public Relations, Ministry of Labour and Employment, Olajide Oshodun, speaking to newsmen, said the government might begin the payment by the end of April. Meanwhile, the pay increase, tagged consequential allowance, is believed to have been proposed to cushion. Meanwhile, the federal government has approved the release of 45.3 billion naira as reimbursement to states and FCT for the implementation of the Nigeria COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus (NG Cares) program. The National Coordinator of NG Cares program, Dr. Abdul Karim Obaje, who announced the disbursement in Abuja, said that by an independent consultant. He added that the result earned by the states and FCT shows significant progress towards achieving the set objectives and targets of the NG Cares program. Reports say NG Cares program is a World Bank state support operation implemented in all 36 states and FCT. The program aims to expand access to livelihood support and food security services and grants for poor and vulnerable households and firms. At the $2.8 billion Ajaokuta Kaduna Kanu AKK natural gas pipeline project being constructed by the federal government through the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and its partners is now 43% completed. Osibanjo revealed that the project was a major project of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. The Vice President recalled that Buhari inaugurated the AKK pipeline project in July 2020, where it was announced that the Bank of China and Sinosure, a Chinese export and credit insurance corporation, were to fund the $2.8 billion facility. Speaking on some of the away from that, President Muhammadu Buhari has said that the federal government under his watch made over 203 billion naira from the sale of petroleum prospecting licenses to 161 firms in its last marginal fields bid round, International Energy Summit at the State House, Abuja. The president also said his government created a conducive environment for businesses to thrive, adding that signing the petroleum industry bill into law remains his biggest achievement in the energy sector.
We implemented a marginal fields bid round and so to the conclusion of the process, which resulted in the award of petroleum prospective licenses to 161 successful farms, with the federal government reckoning about 200 billion naira as well.
It will write the Inspector General of Police, Baba Ahmed, to investigate and prosecute the resident electoral commissioner for Adamawa State, Hudu Ari. The commission reached a decision today at a technical meeting attended by national commissioners of INEC in Abuja. INEC also decided to write a secretary to the government of the federal. On electoral matters, the acting national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Omar Damangum, says the party demands that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, The PDP national chairman described Ari's actions as a civilian coup and in contradiction of the constitution. The PDP asked the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, to sanction the Adamawa Police Commissioner for providing cover to Ari. On judicial matters, the Federal High Court in Abuja has restored Ifeanyi Ararume as the non-executive chairman of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (ECL) chief illegal, unlawful and unconstitutional, noting that it was a total breach of common law under which the petroleum company was incorporated. Delivering judgment, Justice Iyanako voided Ararume's sacking and awarded 5 billion naira as damages against Buhari and the NNPCL to be paid for the disruption of Ararume's appointment on the grounds that the action of the president was arbitrary, unlawful and illegal. The justice ordered that Ararume be immediately restored to office as the Non-Executions Commission (NCC) through the Digital Bridge Institute (DBI) has begun a 5-day training and advanced digital appreciation program for 100 staff members of the Igbinedion University, Okada, Edo State. The Vice Chancellor of the university, Lawrence Ezemoye, said the training was run joint educational programs with the institute in the areas of co-design, co-development, and co-delivery of specialized IT-related courses, both at undergraduate and postgraduate levels. He applauded the institute as well as the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC), which funded the program, for their generosity and unflinching support. Motor Registry (CMR) information service to serve the public better. For spokesman CSP Moyiwa Adejobi, who hinted of the revamped portal, said the digitalized CMR will effectively serve the purpose of obtaining a registered by the CMR and not stolen, and to aid investigation of stolen vehicles and vehicle-associated incidents. He noted that owners of motor vehicles operating on Nigerian roads and members of the public are hereby notified that the new procedure for requesting for NPF Central Motor Registry services such as motor vehicle information, change of ownership, change of engine and chassis/body change of color, international motor vehicle certificate, international driver via https://cmris:/npf.gov.ng. According to him, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, has therefore urged Nigerians and residents to effectively utilize the portal. In other developments, Management Agency, Federal Airports Authority of the Nigeria and the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority have been locked down. Unions have reportedly laid siege at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, causing heavy traffic leading to the airport. The unions have threatened to totally shut down Nigeria airspace 7 days after the end of the 2-day warning strike. Reports say heavy security presence has been observed at strategic points around the airport, while the unionists have been chanting solidarity songs even after 8 years. In education, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAMB) has extended the closing date for the 2023 Direct Entry DE registration by 1 week, starting from Friday, April 20th, and was billed to end on Thursday, April 20th. According to him, the extension was partly to give all holders of Cambridge A-level certificates who were unable to register for the exercise on account of some issues associated with the verification of their certificates another opportunity to do so. He said it would as well accommodate others who wish to register but were unable to do so within the stipulated time. Move to Africa, where Iraqi president to the crisis in the African country. In a statement, Rashid expressed firm confidence in the wisdom of the brothers in Sudan, saying that their ability to hold peaceful and democratic dialogue is enough to overcome the crisis by immediately stopping fighting and armed actions. In Africa, the EU's ambassador in Sudan, Aidan O'Hara, has allegedly been assaulted at his home in Khartoum, which is gripped by deadly fighting between rival forces. Reports say Irish Foreign Minister Michael Martin, who confirmed that the Irish diplomat was not seriously hurt, described the attack as a gross violation of obligations to protect diplomats. According to the UN, about 185 people have reportedly been killed. On the foreign scene, National Bureau of Statistics has shown that China's economy grew much better than expected in the first 3 months of the year as the country reopened after the end of zero-COVID measures. The figures were the first snapshot since 2019 of the world's second-largest economy, unencumbered by the strict health controls. Chinese people in recent months have finally returned to restaurants and started to move around more freely, giving much-needed stimulus to services. According to data published by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS), the official growth figure for January to March was 4.5%, significantly higher than the 3.8% predicted by analysts in a poll. Meanwhile, a key driver of the standout reading was a bounce in retail sales, the main indicator of household consumption, as shoppers and diners once again hit hard. Majid Al-Ansari has disclosed that Qatar and United Arab Emirates are working to reopen their long-closed embassies in the coming weeks as a wave of rapprochement sweeps the turbulent Middle East region. According to Al-Ansari, opening the embassies would be the latest in a series of reconciliatory steps for Gulf relations, since heavyweight Saudi Arabia and Iran part in a 4-year Gulf blockade of Qatar, but despite several meetings, they are yet to restore the diplomatic missions. And still to come in the news, Manchester United has revealed that the country's external reserves fell by $112.78 million in 2 weeks to $35.42 billion. According to the Central Bank of Nigeria's data on the movement of external reserves, the reserve, which stood at $36.99 million as at the end of January 1st, 2023, fell to $36.67 billion as at February. At the last Monetary Policy Committee in Abuja, attributed the decline in the external reserves to the fall in crude oil price. Still in business, the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) says Nigeria's headline inflation rate increased due to a report for March 2023 released in Abuja. According to the reports, the figure is 0.13 percentage points higher compared to the 21.91% recorded in February 2023. It stated that on a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate in March 2023 was 6.13% higher than the rate recorded in March 2022 at 15.92%. The report added that the contributions of items on the divisional level to the increase in the head at 3.69%. Move to health, where Nigeria's Center for Disease Control (NCDC) has announced a total of 1,336 suspected cases of cholera. The report revealed that 12 states across 43 local government areas reported their suspected cases, with a case fatality ratio of 5.9%. The 12 states include Abia, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Cross River, Ebonyi, Kano, Katsina, Niger State, Ondo, Osun, Sokoto, and Zamfara. The NCDC added that it would continue training on cholera surveillance in health, anxiety, and stress reduction have been identified as some of the best strategies to enhance memory and overcome common memory lapses. This is made known by a consultant neurologist at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, IDI, Araba, Lagos, Dr. Agabi Osigwe, during an interview with newsmen. Osigwe explained that memories change as people age, noting that most temporary mental lapses experienced are not make decisions, problem solve, and live a productive and useful life. He pointed out that certain foods such as fatty fish, coffee, turmeric, nuts, broccoli, blueberries, eggs, oranges, green tea, among others, are good for brain health and could improve its ability to do specific mental tasks such as memory and concentration. We move to sports, where recall that Lisandro Martinez sustained a broken metatarsal against Sevilla in the Europa League quarter-final and has now undergone successful surgery. He has been rolled out for the rest of the season, as the recovery time for an injury of this nature is usually around 7 to 8 weeks. Meanwhile, Martini has been one of United's best players this season following his arrival from Ajax in the summer, and a big part of why the Red Devils are likely to finish the season in the top 4. According to the club, the planning application follows a consultation with fans and the local community. City says the proposals represent more than £300 million investment into East Manchester and could create 2,600 jobs, with priority for people from Greater Manchester. Reports say the club intends to increase the current capacity of 53,400 to 60,000 by expanding the North Stand. Recall that the Etihad was. On our entertainment news, popular Afrobeat star David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, has paid a visit to Lagos Commissioner of Police Idowu fans and hosts who will attend his timeless concert slated for April 23rd at the Tafawa Balewa Square prompted the visit. The singer said that partnering with the police force was his team's way of putting in place security for all attendees and hosts, as their safety is most important. Shantytown has received 10 nominations at the 2023 Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards. Recall that Shantytown was released on Netflix in January, and the nominations are coming a few days after the release of an audience survey which ranked Shantytown audiences' most favorite Nollywood flick released so far in 2020 respectively. And that's all we have for you this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. You've been watching Spectrum TV News at 4. I am